Amara ran barefoot through the dark forest, her heartbeat crashing louder than the storm gathering above her. Branches tore at her clothes as she stumbled forward, trying not to look back even though she could hear it, water rushing where no river should be, water following her like something alive, something angry. "Please stop," she cried, her voice hoarse. "She's just a child. I didn't know." The water roared louder, almost responding to her pleas. Her foot slipped on wet soil, and she collapsed to her knees, gasping. Behind her, a wall of shimmering water rose like a living creature preparing to swallow her whole. Her trembling voice broke into the night. "I shouldn't have brought her home. I shouldn't have touched her." Hours earlier, the world had been painfully normal. Amara woke before dawn in her small clay house at the edge of Oduk village. She stretched her tired limbs and listened to the early chatter of birds hiding in palm trees. With the buckets balanced in her hands, she nudged her younger sister Chisholm awake. "I'm heading to the river," she whispered. "I'll be back before you need your medicine." Chisholm nodded weakly from the mat, her breathing soft but uneven. Amara always worried about her, about the cost of treatment, about her health, about everything. Being an underpaid primary school teacher wasn't enough for survival, but she kept going because she didn't have much choice. She stepped outside into the cool morning air. Mist hovered above the ground and the faint smell of wet leaves lingered. The sky was still dark, but a faint line of blue was beginning to stretch across the horizon. Amara walked briskly toward the river, humming the quiet song her mother used to sing before she passed. It calmed her mind. Reaching the riverbank, she set down her bucket and knelt, splashing some water on her face to wake herself fully. The river was unusually calm, barely moving, almost as if it were holding its breath. She fumbled with her wrapper and began washing clothes when she heard it, a faint sound, almost like a sigh. She froze and looked around. "Hello," she called out softly. The river answered with silence. Then she saw her. A small figure lying near the edge of the river, partly covered by reeds. Amara felt her stomach twist. She stood slowly, gripping a wet cloth in her hand. The figure looked like a little girl, tiny limbs, tangled hair, skin that shimmered faintly under the rising light. But something felt wrong, deeply wrong. Amara swallowed hard and approached cautiously. "Hello. Are you hurt?" she whispered. No response. She knelt beside the body and gently turned the girl over. Her skin was ice cold. Her breathing shallow. Her eyes closed tightly as if she'd been crying. "Oh God," Amara whispered. "Who left you here?" She glanced around, expecting someone to appear, but the riverbank was empty. Her chest tightened with panic. She hated how her heart always compelled her into situations she wasn't prepared for, but she couldn't leave the child there. "I'll help you," she whispered. As she lifted the girl, something strange happened. Droplets of water slid off the girl's skin and hovered in the air for a moment before falling back down. Amara blinked fast. "I'm just tired. I'm imagining things," she muttered to herself, though unease prickled her skin. The girl stirred weakly in her arms. Her eyes opened, deep, dark, too intense for a child. "Don't let them find me," she whispered. Amara stopped in her tracks. Who shouldn't find you?" But the girl's eyes slipped shut again. Amara hurried home, trying to ignore the strange chill spreading from the girl's body to her own arms. When she stepped inside, Chisholm gasped. "Amara. What is that? Who is she?" Amara laid the child gently on her bed. "I found her by the river. She was freezing. I think she might have almost drowned." Chisholm approached slowly, touching the girl's forehead. "She's like ice. Should we call the elders?" Amara shook her head. "Not yet. Let's try to warm her first." Hours passed. They wrapped the girl in blankets, gave her warm water, and waited. Late in the morning, the girl opened her eyes fully. She scanned the room with alertness that seemed unusual for someone who'd been unconscious moments ago. "Where am I?" she asked softly. "You're in my home," Amara said gently. "My name is Amara. This is my sister Chisholm." "What's your name?" The girl hesitated. "Naya," she whispered. Amara nodded. "Naya. That's a beautiful name. Are you hurt? How did you end up by the river?" Naya's lips pressed tightly together. She lowered her gaze. "I can't go back there," she murmured. "Please don't take me back." Amara exchanged a confused look with Chisholm. "Back where?" Chisholm asked. Naya shook her head, refusing to speak. Amara stepped outside to get fresh air and ran into Mama Busy, the neighbor known for her stinginess. "Amara, come," Mama Busy called out, lifting a bowl. "I made yam porridge. Take some for you and your sister." Amara almost laughed. Mama Busy never gave anyone anything. "Are you sure?" Amara asked skeptically. "Yes now," Mama Busy said. "You girls need strength." Inside, Naya's face brightened at the sight of the food. "Thank you," she said softly. As the day went on, more peculiar things happened. Chuck the tailor offered to fix her torn bag free of charge. Her boss called saying, "Don't worry about coming in early today. Take your time." A cousin who had borrowed money suddenly sent it back without explanation. Amara found herself whispering, "What in the world is going on?" But the oddities grew. Naya's presence came with strange occurrences. When Amara brought water in a bowl, she caught Naya staring so intensely that droplets rose slightly before falling back. Amara gasped. "How did you do that?" Naya flinched. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to." Animals stopped approaching their home. Chickens and goats that normally wandered freely avoided the compound entirely. Once, Amara caught Naya humming a slow, haunting tune, and tears spilled from her own eyes uncontrollably. "Why am I crying?" she whispered, wiping her face. Naya stopped humming instantly and murmured, "I didn't mean to make you sad." One evening, Amara sat beside her. "Naya, these things, they aren't normal. Please tell me what's happening." Naya trembled visibly. "If I tell you, you'll send me away." Amara took a deep breath. "I won't. You're safe here. But we need to understand what's happening. Please." Naya lowered her head. Then she whispered, "I'm not human." Amara froze. Naya continued in a shaky voice. "I'm from the river. My mother is from the deep waters. I can change shape. I was running away. I didn't want them to catch me. I didn't want to be taken somewhere I can never return from." Chisholm, who had been listening from behind the curtain, gasped softly. "Amara, she's not lying. I saw something earlier." When she touched the bucket, the water moved by itself. Amara felt her stomach churn. She didn't want to believe this. But the signs were too many. Too real. The next day, while teaching at school, she saw a strange old woman entering the compound. Her back was slightly bent, but her presence was unsettling. She went from teacher to teacher asking questions. "Have you seen a lost child? Has anyone here gone to the river early in the morning? Has anything unusual happened in your homes?" When she reached Amara, she stared unnervingly into her eyes. "You," she said softly. "Your home feels disturbed." Amara swallowed hard. "I don't understand what you mean." "Be careful," the woman murmured. "If she's with you, return her before the river comes for you." All the hairs on Amara's arms stood straight. She remained frozen until the woman walked away. When Amara got home, Chisholm ran to her. "Amara, you need to see this." Water was dripping down the walls, clear, constant streams that vanished before hitting the floor. "It started a few hours after you left," Chisholm whispered. Naya looked scared. That night, Amara had nightmares of waves crashing inside her house, of whispering voices calling her name. She woke up breathless. Buckets they had left empty were mysteriously full. The soft whisper seemed to come from the corners of the room, "Return what is ours." The disturbances grew worse. Rain fell only around their house despite clear skies. Pots filled with water. The roof dripped even though it wasn't leaking before. Goosebumps covered Amara's arms every time she stepped outside the room where Naya slept. Amara confronted her again. "Naya, you need to tell me everything." Naya cried softly. "I didn't want to cause trouble. I just wanted to be safe, to see your world. They want to take me deep under the river where I will be trapped forever." "Why?" Amara asked. "Because I have a gift," Naya whispered. "A powerful one. They want to bind me so that I can never leave the kingdom again." Before Amara could respond, the strange old woman appeared at their door again, only this time, she didn't knock. She walked straight into the compound with confidence that felt threatening. Her eyes were sharper. "Where is she?" the woman asked coldly. Amara stepped forward. "I don't know who you're talking about." The woman's expression twisted. "Lies are dangerous when dealing with the river. You're already marked. If you do not return her, the river will take what it is owed." "What do you mean?" Amara whispered. "A sacrifice," the woman said. "Either her life returns, or someone else's will replace it." Amara felt her knees weaken. "She's just a child." The woman stepped closer. "She is not a child. She is a link between worlds. And you should never have taken her from the riverbank." As soon as the woman left, Chisholm screamed from inside. Amara rushed in to see her sister clutching her chest, struggling to breathe as if drowning. "Chisholm," she cried. Please don't do this." She turned to Naya. "Help her." Naya placed her hand over Chisholm's chest, and the girl gasped, breathing again, but she fell unconscious immediately after. Tears streamed down Naya's cheeks. "It's because of me. They are punishing you." "I'm so sorry." Amara sobbed. "Why didn't you tell me it would be like this?" "Because you were kind," Naya whispered. "And I didn't want to lose that." When the forest erupted with the sound of water approaching, Amara grabbed Naya's hand. "We need to hide. Now." They fled into the night. Amara gripping Naya's cold hand so tightly her fingers hurt. The sky was clear above, but the sound behind them was like a floodgate being opened, rushing, surging water pounding against earth that should have been dry. Her bare feet slapped the ground as they cut through narrow paths between trees, branches whipping against her arms and face. Every breath burned. Every heartbeat screamed one thing in her head: run. Just run. Naya glanced back and stumbled. "It's coming," she gasped. "They're almost here." "Keep moving," Amara shouted, her voice shaking. "I am not letting them take you. Do you hear me?" "I'm not." Naya's steps faltered again. "You don't understand. If they find us here, they won't just punish me. They'll punish you." "I don't care." Amara shot back. "You're under my roof. That makes you my responsibility." The ground trembled. They could both hear it now, water roaring like an angry crowd, getting closer with every second. It wasn't rain. It wasn't a normal flood. It moved with purpose, like it was following their scent. They reached a small clearing, and Amara stopped, panting, chest heaving. "I can't breathe," she whispered. Her legs felt like they were made of stone. Naya tugged her desperately. "We have to go." But Amara couldn't move. Her lungs burned. Her head spun. She dropped to her knees, one hand digging into the dirt. "I just wanted to help you," she said weakly. I didn't ask for any of this. I just couldn't leave you there. Naya knelt in front of her, tears streaming. I know. That's why they chose you. Amara's eyes flew open. What do you mean chose me? Before Naya could answer, the tree line behind them exploded with a wave of water, shimmering strangely under the half-moon. It didn't crash blindly like normal water. It rolled forward, towering like a creature made of liquid glass, full of faces, murmurs, and rage. Amara's entire body trembled. This can't be real, she whispered. This cannot be real. Naya stood slowly. They are here. The wave stopped a few meters from them, hovering unnaturally. Water dripped but never quite touched the ground. Then, from the center of the wave, a figure emerged, first an outline, then a woman's form, the same old woman from the village, but now her eyes glowed with the same gray as storm clouds over the ocean. Her clothes shifted like currents. Her hair moved as if underwater. Amara couldn't look away. You, she whispered. The woman's voice echoed unnaturally, layered with multiple tones. You ran, she said slowly. You tried to keep what was not yours. Amara rose shakily to her feet, pulling Naya behind her. She's a child, she said, forcing her voice to stay steady. She was dying by the river. I only wanted to help. Isn't your river supposed to value life? The woman tilted her head, studying her. You speak boldly for someone standing in the mouth of a flood, she replied. Life has laws. So does the water. Amara swallowed. Then explain it to me. Because nothing about this feels fair. Naya stepped forward slightly. Mother, she said softly. The woman's eyes flashed. Don't call me that here, she snapped. You abandoned your place. You broke the seal. You chose to flee to the human world. Now there is a price. Amara turned to Naya, stunned. Mother, she repeated. Chiyo. Naya nodded once, her shoulders shaking. She is not just a guardian. She's my blood. The woman's gaze softened for a brief second before hardening again. You think I enjoy dragging you back? She asked. You think I have no heart? I raised you in the depths when no one else wanted a half-blood child. But leaving the river puts us all at risk. Too many eyes. Too many questions. Too many greedy hands. Naya clenched her fist. I told you I didn't want the binding, she said, her small voice suddenly sharp. You kept saying, you were born for this. Your power will serve the kingdom. But what about me? My life. My choices. The woman's expression darkened. Children don't decide such things. Power belongs where it is controlled. Not out here. Not with them. She glared briefly at Amara. Amara stepped between them. Is that what this is about? Control. Not protection. It's about balance, the woman replied. A being who can move water with thoughts, bend emotion with song, and cross both worlds. Do you have any idea what humans would do if they discovered her? Amara flinched. She imagined men with greed in their eyes, politicians, spiritualists, exploiters. Naya would become a tool, something to be used, studied, worshipped, or destroyed. It made her sick. I wouldn't let that happen, Amara said quietly. The woman's eyes narrowed. You can barely protect your own roof. How will you protect her from the world? Amara's jaw tightened. I may not be powerful like you, but I'm not weak. I took her in when she was helpless. I fed her. I warmed her. I treated her like a person, not a weapon. The flood behind the woman bubbled and hissed. Enough, she said. I did not come here for debates. You have had your taste of her presence. The small blessings. The small curses. Now you must let her go. Naya grabbed Amara's arm. Don't let them take me, she whispered. Please. I finally saw the sky. Houses. People laughing. Food cooked on fire. I don't want to go back to the dark. Amara's heart twisted. She remembered the way Naya's eyes lit up at the sight of simple yam porridge, the way she'd listened to their neighborhood sounds like they were music. How do you send someone back to a cage once they've tasted freedom? Is there no other way? Amara asked. No compromise. Let her stay with me. I'll keep her secret. No one has to know. The woman sighed, and for a moment she looked tired, ancient. You humans always believe goodwill solves everything. It doesn't. Her presence has already disrupted the river. The walls of your home wept because the veil was disturbed. Your sister choked on air because the bond of exchange was triggered. Amara bristled. My sister did nothing. Why punish her? Because you refused the warnings, the woman replied. You were told to return what you took. You didn't. The river does not speak twice without consequence. Then take me, Amara blurted. The words spilled out before she could stop them. Leave Naya. Punish me instead. I'm the one who carried her home. I'm the one who broke your rule. Naya spun toward her, eyes wide. No. Don't say that. You can't. The woman's gaze sharpened. You have no idea what you're offering, she said. The river does not take kindness. It takes usefulness. You are ordinary. Amara actually laughed, bitterly. You think I don't know that? I wake up every day feeling ordinary. I go to a job where I'm underpaid, underappreciated, and overworked. I go home to a sister who deserves more than I can give. And yet, for once, someone came into my life who needed me, and I actually made a difference. Maybe to you I am nothing, but to her, I matter. Naya grabbed her hand. You matter to me, she said, voice breaking. Please don't trade yourself. I won't let you. The woman watched them for a long moment, something unreadable passing through her eyes. The river has rules, she repeated. But I am allowed to offer terms. Amara swallowed. What kind of terms? The air went still. Even the crickets seemed to fall silent. The woman stepped closer, the water shifting with her like a cloak. A human who harbors a river child must pay if they refuse to surrender her, she said. But the payment doesn't have to be death. It can be something else. Your voice. Your memory. Your firstborn. Amara went cold. What? You heard me, the woman said. Your voice, so you may never again speak of what you've seen. Your memory, so you forget us entirely but live an empty life where something is always missing. Or your firstborn, if you ever have one, promise to the river from the day it takes its first breath. Naya shook her head violently. No. No, you can't do this, she cried. That's not fair. Fair, the woman repeated. You want fair from the elements. The ocean swallows whole cities. The rain drowns entire fields. The sun burns skin without asking. There is no fair. There is only exchange. Amara felt like the ground was tipping beneath her feet. You want me to choose between my voice, my mind, and a child I don't even have yet? Yes, the woman replied calmly. Naya clutched her clothes. Please don't choose any of them, she begged. I'll go back. I'll go back if it means you're safe. I won't let you lose anything because of me. Amara cupped Naya's face with shaking hands. Listen to me, she said. You are not a curse. Do you hear me? You are not a mistake. You didn't ask to be born between two worlds. You just wanted to exist like everyone else. I will not let your life be reduced to regret. Naya sobbed. But you'll suffer because of me. Maybe, Amara said. But at least I know I stood for something. I am tired of playing it safe and still losing. She turned back to the woman. You said I have to choose. So let me choose. The woman folded her arms. Then choose, human. Amara thought of her sister, of their struggles, of her own dreams, small, quiet dreams of someday having a family, a child who wouldn't grow up with the same scarcity she did. She imagined a baby in her arms, a future where someone called her Mama. The thought of surrendering that child to the river felt like ripping herself in half. She imagined losing her memory instead. Forgetting Naya. Forgetting the river. Forgetting everything strange and beautiful and terrifying about this brief, intense chapter. She'd go back to her routine, haunted by a void she couldn't name. That sounded like its own kind of death. Then she imagined silence. A life where she could still see, feel, write, hold, build, but never speak. No scolding students gently, no comforting words to Chisholm, no singing her mother's songs. Just silence. Her throat closed up. Tears stung her eyes. I can't, she whispered. The woman's voice softened slightly. This is what happens when two words touch, she said. There are no clean endings. Naya grabbed Amara's face. Look at me, she pleaded. Whatever you do, don't give them your future children. Please. Don't bring another life into this. Amara nodded slowly. I know. She looked up at the woman, her eyes wet but steady. Take my voice. Naya screamed. No. The woman studied her. You would give up your voice for her? Yes, Amara said. If it means she can stay. If it means my sister lives. If it means this ends tonight, right here. The woman closed her eyes. The wave behind her shifted, calmer now but still powerful. Very well, she said. We have an agreement. Naya clung to Amara. Please don't do this, she whispered. I'll go with them. I don't want you to suffer for me. Amara smiled sadly, brushing a tear from her cheek. You think this is suffering? She asked quietly. Suffering would be knowing I let you get dragged back into a life you didn't choose. At least this way, I decide. I get to choose something for once. The woman stepped closer, raising her hand. Amara felt the air grow heavy, thick with moisture. A cool mist wrapped around her throat. It didn't hurt at first. It almost felt soothing, like a cold compress on a fever. Then the pressure began. It felt like hands were closing around her neck from the inside, squeezing not to choke her, but to squeeze out every word she'd ever spoken. Her childhood laughter, her whispered prayers, her angry arguments, her soft confessions, all of it rose up like smoke, dragged from her chest into the mist. She gasped, trying to speak. Naya, but the word cracked and shattered in her mouth. No sound came out. Only air. She clutched her throat, eyes wide in panic. Tears streamed down her face. Naya screamed her name again and again, but Amara could only mouth the words in silence. The mist around her throat solidified into a faint, shimmering band, invisible to others but heavy to her. The woman stepped back. The price has been taken, she said. The bond is sealed. You may keep her. But your tongue belongs to the river now. You will never speak of this. You will never warn, never boast, never explain. Naya stared at Amara in horror. Say something, she begged. Please. Just say something. Amara opened her mouth and tried. Nothing. Not a whisper. Not a crack. Her voice was gone. Naya turned on the woman, rage blazing in her eyes. Are you happy now? She screamed. You got what you wanted. Leave us alone. The woman's expression softened for the first time. I did not want this, she said quietly. But I serve something older than both of us. She looked at Amara. You have courage, human. That will be your burden and your strength. Her presence will still affect your world. There will be days of blessing and days of storm. But your choice will be honored. The wave behind her slowly receded, melting back into the forest floor until only damp earth remained. The woman's form shimmered, then dissolved into droplets of water that fell gently and disappeared. Silence returned to the clearing. The only sound left was Naya sobbing as she threw her arms around Amara. Why did you do that? She cried. Why? Amara held her as tightly as she could, her own body shaking. She wanted to say everything she felt, that she didn't regret it, that she'd do it again, that Naya was worth the sacrifice, but her lips parted uselessly. No sound came. So she did the only thing she could. She rested her forehead against Naya's and let her tears speak. They stayed there for a long time, two figures in the clearing under a silent sky. Eventually, they walked back to the village. When they reached home, Chisholm was awake, sitting weakly on the doorstep, eyes wide with fear. Amara, she cried when she saw her. You're okay. She ran forward and hugged her sister tightly. I thought something terrible had happened. Amara hugged her back, relief washing through her. She pulled away and opened her mouth to respond, but the moment she tried to speak, nothing came out. Confusion flashed across Chisholm's face. Amara. What's wrong? Naya stepped forward, wiping her cheeks. She lost her voice, she said quietly. Because of me. Chisholm looked between them. What do you mean? How? Why can't she talk? Naya's gaze hardened with determination. Because she protected me, she replied. And now it's my turn to protect her. Life didn't magically become perfect after that night. Some days were better than others. The walls stopped weeping. The buckets stopped filling themselves. Chisholm's strange choking episodes never returned. The village talked about the odd storm that had raged briefly in the distance, how it came from nowhere and vanished just as quickly, but they soon moved on to other gossip. Amara returned to her routine, going to school, caring for her sister, managing their little life. But everything was different now. She communicated through gestures, written notes, and eyes that said more than words ever did. Her students learned quickly to read her expressions, to listen with more than their ears. Sometimes, when she became frustrated and tried to force her voice, nothing came. Just air. Each failed attempt cut deep. She'd remember the way she used to laugh loudly or sing while scrubbing clothes, or the way she'd yell Chisholm's name from down the road. Those memories felt like treasures lost at the bottom of the river. But Naya stayed. She lived with them, half guest, half family. She helped with water, making it easier to fetch and purify. When Chisholm's chest felt heavy, she would hum softly, and the tension would ease. When Amara had bad dreams, Naya would sit beside her, holding her hand until she calmed. They argued too. Naya sometimes snapped, "Stop looking at me like that. I know you're worried." Amara would scribble angrily on paper, "You are not allowed to say everything is your fault." Naya would roll her eyes but secretly smile. On some evenings, Amara would stand by the river, watching its gentle flow. She'd feel the faintest vibration in the water, like a greeting. Sometimes ripples formed patterns, circles within circles, or lines that almost looked like writing. Naya would stand beside her and say softly, "They're checking on us. Watching from afar. Making sure you're keeping your end of the deal." Amara would smirk slightly and tap her throat knowingly. As if to say, "They've taken enough. I won't give them anything more." With time, the pain of losing her voice became something else, a scar she learned to live with. It hurt, but it no longer broke her. She found new ways to express herself. Her silence became a presence, a weight that made her actions louder, her choices clearer. Sometimes villagers whispered, "That teacher, she went quiet suddenly. Maybe someone cursed her. Others said, they say she angered the spirits. Amara never corrected them. She couldn't. But when people looked at her with fear or pity, Naya would step in front of her and say firmly, she's fine. Leave her alone. On quiet nights, under a sky full of stars, Naya would whisper, do you regret it? Amara would think carefully, then shake her head. A long, slow, deliberate movement. Naya always cried a little when she saw that. Years might pass. The village might forget the strange storm and the teacher who suddenly fell silent. But the river would remember. The water always remembers. And every time Amara walked by the riverbank with Naya by her side, tiny waves rippled toward them, as if bowing in reluctant respect. If you enjoyed this story, make sure you like this video and comment what you learned from it. Also, share this story with your friends and family who may need to learn from it. And don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to enjoy more captivating stories like this one.